I thought I would start off today's video with this picture because it's really emblematic of what's going on in Florida. Now, those of you who are from here know exactly what this is. Those of you who aren't are probably looking at it and scratching your head and going, wow, that's a pretty big lizard. Well, as far as little lizards go, yeah, it's probably a little bigger than average. But these things this year have just exploded for some reason, more so than in past years. And the ones that are out are, generally speaking, probably 20-25% bigger than normal. Now, to put it in perspective, which is what today's video is all about, putting things in perspective, here was the same lizard just a couple moments later when he decided to just change position. And you can tell by the size of the screen holes versus him that he's only, maybe even including the tail, about the size of your hand. Now, given if you were just relaxing by the pool and something like this came skittering across your arm, you would definitely be startled. But it's just so, like I said, emblematic. You hear the mainstream media talk about what's going on in Florida, and you would think that it was the end of the world. They're talking about this closing the bars. Oh, they're not letting anybody go out and have fun. Well, that ain't exactly true. In today's video, we're going to talk about the order, the exact order from the governor, and what it says, and why it's really a toothless nothing burger. Now, it is true. The bars, quote unquote, may not serve alcohol on premises. But if you want to go to Red Lobster, Outback, Olive Garden, Ruby Tuesdays, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, TGI Fridays, Texas Roadhouse, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Applebee's, Chili's, Red Robin, or any other restaurant like that, you can drink yourself silly with as many people as you want to. Why? Well, you see, what CNN and MSNBC and all the fearmongers aren't telling you is that in the order, the only places that are prohibited from serving alcohol are places that derive more than 50% of their gross revenue from alcohol sales. And none of these restaurants qualify for that. So, like I said, all the bars are closed. You can't get alcohol. I mean, unless you want to go to Red Lobster, Outback, Olive Garden, Ruby Tuesdays, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, TGI Fridays, Texas Roadhouse, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Applebee's, Chili's, or Red Robin, and I'm sure there's probably quite a few, many others that I'm missing. And this is right from the city of Palm Coast. Their website, Palm Coast Connect, reiterates Department of Business and Professional Regulation Emergency Order 2020-09, 26 June 2020. Just to read here real quick. Palm Coast. The City of Palm Coast reiterates the announcement from the Department of Business and Professional Regulation regarding Emergency Order 2020-09, filed today, June 26, suspending on-premises consumption of alcohol at bars statewide. Through the order, all vendors licensed to sell alcoholic beverages for consumption on the premises who derive more than 50% of gross revenue from such sales of alcoholic beverage shall suspend such sales of alcoholic beverages for consumption on the premises. Such vendors may continue to sell alcoholic beverages in sealed containers for consumption off the premises in accordance with Executive Order 20-71, Sections 1 and 2. Additionally, vendors who are licensed as public food service establishments or restaurants under Chapter 509 Florida statutes may continue to operate for on-premises consumption of food and beverages at tables pursuant to the restrictions in Executive Order 20139, so long as these vendors derive 50% or less of gross revenue from the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premises consumption. Emergency order takes effective date today. So, as you can see, they aren't telling you the entire truth. And oh, by the way, if you would like the entire truth about a great many other subjects, www.patreon.com, just like you see it on your screen, /Florida Maquis. That's MAQUIS. Using the app, by the way, just downloading it to your phone and trying to find my channel won't work. What you've got to do is open up a Chrome or Edge or whatever browser webpage and go to www.patreon.com, request desktop site, and then do the search, and then you can find your way through. So, just saying. It is all about perspective. What they're saying about the masks, by the way, it's partially true and partially not. For example, if the idea is that we are wearing masks so that we rule out the possibility of getting anyone else sick with something that might have the possibility that it might kill them, then we should have been wearing masks nonstop this entire time, and especially in 2009, when the flu pandemic hit and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Millions and millions got sick around the world. You see, what they're saying right now would be true, but it would be true for everything. Meaning, if the idea is we have to wear a mask because there's the possibility that I could give you something that in certain circumstances might kill you, and not even in most, by the way, not even in anything like a large percentage of the people, is it deadly? Then there will never be a point when government can't say you should wear a mask. Because the flu could. Theoretically, if you had early stage flu and you didn't know it, and you go walking around the grocery store, or you go walking around any other business, you might give that to somebody, and they might give that to somebody, and that person might get sick and die from it. People die from the flu every year. You see, that's the point. There's so many things that where they just tell you a half-truth. And so when they say they're half-truth and then you say they're all wrong, then they've got you. Because only part of what they're saying is true. You've got to be able to call them out with the facts. And say, well, yes, what you're saying is partially true. It's a complete overstatement and an overreaction. This should have been mandated in 2009. Why was it not? Oh, that's right. We had just elected the first black president. And of course, we couldn't have anything solely the memory of that, could we? So, in the next Patreon video, we're going to be talking about who the real people that should be upset are. Not the ones who are rolling around, throwing a tantrum, and taking over cities and toppling over statues. No, not them. You see, even if we gave them everything that they wanted, there would be another group of people that would be able to say, okay, now that they gave you that, you need to give us that. Because we were the original people who were slighted. We were the original people who had something taken from us. And I'm sure a lot of you already know who that is. But would BLM ever do that? No, absolutely not. Because it's all about them. Narcissism 101. So, anyway, giant lizards taking over Florida? Well, it's kind of the half-truth. The lizards are getting bigger this year than they normally do, and there's a lot more of them. But when you look at things in the right light, you can see that the problem isn't nearly as big as what you think it is. And if you want to come to Florida and you want to have a good time, yep, the bars are closed. And you can't go in and sit down and have an alcoholic beverage unless it's Red Lobster, Outback, Olive Garden, Ruby Tuesdays, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, TGI Fridays, Texas Roadhouse, Carrabba's, Applebee's, Chili's, or Red Robin. And many others that aren't chains. So, anyway, I hope everyone is having a good weekend. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thank you.